Hey Gary and John, I made this up over the weekend. I was playing around with my scores and my tests and stuff, and I thought you guys might like this to just help you kind of look at all the test stuff, in one place. So here's my first section of my classes. I've got all of my students over here by last name, just because it matches up with the class roster and stuff. And what I did was I just put in their multiple choice grade right here, the raw score out of 25 points, and then I put in their SAQ score out of 3. Not sure how you guys graded your SAQ portion, but I just gave a 1 point up or down on each one of the 3 questions, but we could change that if we wanted. And then what it did here is it made a percentage of the multiple choice right there, and then it just multiplied by 6 for me to make it 18 points for the SAQ. And then those raw scores together, 50 multiple choice top possible points, 2 points per question, and then 18 for the SAQs, as Gary said he was going to do his. That's added together right here. So the 23 points that Flora got, that's 46 points multiplied by 2, plus the 18 comes up with 64 out of a possible 68 points right here. This column just calculates the percentage of the exam, out of 100 on just the test. And then what I did here is I added up all of the points that they've had available in the worksheets they've done in the class participation. My guys have done 55 total points, and then this 68 points for the test would give them a possible 13 or 123 points, I think, for the class as a whole. So what that does is it lets me add together all the points here and just come up with a GPA, 100% GPA in the course with the test factored in. And then what I did for us to kind of look at is this column right here, this J column. I included a 6 point flat curve. So as you can see from the scores of the test right here, if I sort these according to that score, like this, I had 2 students that got 64 out of 68, and then I had the third student got a 62 out of 68. So I just said, okay, if I give them a 6 point curve to make Eli here the 100% test, what would that do to my scores overall? And sorting it like that gives me this breakdown of their GPAs after that 6 point just flat curve. Just for John, I was curious, so I put in here what would it look like if there wasn't a curve, and I just put in like a 50% floor as a way of comparison, what their GPAs would be like. And then Gary, this is no curve at all right here. So if you guys wanted to throw in some figures here, I've got you a page down here for like Gary, for you. You could put in just like some students, or your students in just one class, and if you just put in their score, they got 22 out of 25, and then I gave them a 4 out of their SAQ, or they got a 2 out of the 3 possible points of their SAQ, or kind of whatever. And then this might be a little bit different for us because we've got different numbers of assignments, but I could play with the formulas really easily and get this to work out. So if you wanted to just put in this number, and then this number here, how many points they had total for a few students, I could play with this, and then we could have a comparison we could look at. John, same thing. I got you a page over here that you could put in a few students, or you could put in, if you wanted to, like the averages of the best 25% students is around here, and then the middle, lower, and then the very lowest, right there. I just thought this would help us look at our numbers to see how we compared, and so we can avoid getting ourselves in trouble. Thanks.